Well, hi guys, it's that time. Well, it's kind of that time. I'm not going to do a Bible teaching snippet today. Actually, what I want to do is do what I'll call a Tuesday testimony. Last week I talked to you about how the company was here reworking the sheetrock and painting and doing some repair work from water damage that happened the end of July. I want to give you another testimony from that exact same problem, okay? I did talk to the restoration company, the man that's overseeing everything yesterday, and he thanked me for being so kind to the girl that broke my collectibles. And yes, it was a cabinet full of stuff. It broke everything in it, by the way, and some of the stuff was 30 years old that I had collected. But you know what? It's just stuff, and it's more important that she's okay. She's physically okay, she didn't get hurt, and she's emotionally okay because I didn't act like a jerk, okay? Look, when I get squeezed, you're going to get Jesus out of me. You're not going to get Satan. I am not going to be mean to people, okay? I get to decide that, and I know that, and I am not going to let other people determine how I act or react, okay? So that's what I want to talk about today. Back when this first happened, back in the end of July, I had actually been to Plano, Texas, to a John G. Lake conference, and after that conference was over, I went 2.5 hours over to Wichita Falls, Texas, and was doing some teaching for, I guess, 4 or 5 days. So I drove in late one night, and I got home. I mean, it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I get home, and I turn the lights on, and I noticed this water in my floor right over here, and there was little white specks in it. I first thought of Frosty the Snowman had been in my house because all these little white specks was everywhere. And what it was is it was the water that had ran down from the attic through the ceiling. This had been going on for 3, 4, maybe 5 days of water. And so the water was in the floor, the ceiling was soaking wet and dripping with water, my couch was full of water. But anyway, I cleaned that up the best I could, as quick as I could, and I went to bed. Well, the next day, I let a friend of mine know that I was going to have to cancel my trip. I had a ministry trip planned to go to Scotland, and I was going to be there for 2 weeks. I had planned on coming home just for like 3 or 4 days, get some stuff done in my office, and then I was off to Scotland. And I talked to her over the internet and told her that I was going to have to cancel that because I just had too much of a mess here at the house for me to leave in the time I had allotted to get everything done and leave. Okay, so that means that the plane ticket that I used my air miles for a free flight, I've been collecting points. I do that. I collect points, and that way I can travel. I had to call to cancel that trip, and it was with Delta. And I was talking to a young lady in Atlanta. And oh my goodness, guys, okay, I was just talking about when somebody squeezes you, what's going to come out. This girl gave me 4 or 5 opportunities to let something beside Jesus come out of me, okay? She was not having a good day, she was not friendly, and she let me know that she was not happy having to talk to me. And of course, I know it's her job, that she has to take care of people who need to cancel their flights. But what happens is when somebody's plans get interrupted, they're not in a good mood, okay? I could have been very, very angry and mean about that, but I wasn't. But this little girl, I suppose, had already been mistreated by other people, and I could tell she didn't just have her guard up, she was frustrated. And, you know, and I just kept being Jesus. I just kept loving her all the way through this. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. I understand. Look, I know that you're just doing your job. And I know that your job is not easy. I couldn't do your job. I know that people give you a hard time. And, you know, and I just kept being nice to her. And I would say things like, I appreciate everything you're doing for me today. And, you know, she finally settled down. And I'm talking like the 4th or 5th time she has been really mean to me. And she finally says, well, you know, it's good to finally talk to somebody that's nice. And I said, well, baby, I'm not going to take it out on you because my plans got messed up. It's not your fault that I had a water leak in my attic and the air conditioner overflowed. And she went, oh my goodness, is that what happened to you? And she started telling me about that happened to her last year. And her whole attitude, guys, now look, it wasn't the first time that I was nice to her, or the second, or the third, or even the fourth time. But about that fifth time, or maybe more, when I just held my ground being kind to her, I was not going to get pulled in. Look, I don't let other people decide what kind of day I'm going to have, okay? I decide that when I wake up every morning. I decide that. I pray in tongues, I do my confessions, I do my daily confessions about me being a son of God and that my Father loves me and Jesus is Lord. And when I start my day like that, I set my mind right where people can't get to me, okay? Anyway, so let me get through this story because this is pretty cool, okay? So this girl who was so frustrated and so rude to me, I'm telling you, your basic average customer would have said, I need to talk to your manager. And when the manager got on the phone, you would have said, I need a different rep to take care of me because she is rude and angry. Because she really was, and I knew that. But anyway, her entire attitude flipped. And she started, when I told her about the water leak and I said, but it's not your fault that happened. So, I'm not going to be mean to you. It's not your fault. Things like this just happen. Anyway, this girl's entire attitude flips just like that. And she starts telling me about how it happened to her, and she told me about this special fan that I could buy over at Home Depot, and that it would help cool the house down because it's 100 degrees outside, and da-da-da-da-da. Now watch. She told me I didn't have to ask. She offered it. She said, listen, you know what I can do? Since you've never canceled a flight before, instead of paying a $150 cancellation fee, I can just go ahead and get you a one-time waiver, and it'll be half price. It'll be a discount. It's only $75. And I said, okay, well, that would be good. If you can do that, I would appreciate it. She said, well, that'll go toward buying your fan that you need, and laughed. Okay. So she tells me she's going to put me on hold, right? And she does. And she comes back 3 or 4 times apologizing. Miss Stiles, I'm so sorry to put you on hold, and I'm so sorry it's taken me so long. Well, about the 4th or 5th time she puts me on hold, she says, I just feel so bad putting you on hold. Can I just call you back? And I said, well, of course you can call me back, baby. It's no problem. And so within 2 or 3 hours, she calls me back, and it was a little while. And when she calls back, she's apologizing again, telling me how sorry she was that it took her so long. I said, honey, I'm not upset with you. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I appreciate everything you're doing for me today. And she said, well, the reason it took me a little while is because I had to finally get a different manager, and I asked that manager if we could do something to help you. And then I told her that your air conditioner overflowed and your house got flooded. And this manager said, oh my goodness, that just happened to me last year too. I cannot believe. I guess that happens to a lot of people. So now I've got 2 people at Delta who has been through the exact same thing I'm going through, right? Did you know the reason it took her a little while is because they waived the entire $150 fee. And she was calling to tell me that it took her a little while, but that she had gotten it taken care of and gave me my confirmation number and all of this and worked it out. Listen, guys, this is just another example of if we will let Jesus rule us and us be like Jesus to the world, we can't let people's life problems change our attitude toward them. Look, I understand the little girl didn't have any reason to be mean to me that day, but she was upset. She'd had people be mean to her. Do you realize the fact that I didn't give in the first time or the second time or the third time or the 4th time or even the 5th time that she came at me with anger and frustration, that I did not give in, that I came back with her with love? Every single time I was kind and nice to her, and instead of her having a bad day and it getting worse and then me having a bad day, I flipped that and I had a great day. She had a great day. Oh, look, she even talked to me about that she used to live in Memphis, told me who her dad was and a business he owned, told me she would love to maybe come by and see me at my restaurant next time she came to Memphis. I'm telling you guys, I changed this girl's entire day because I did not feel like I had a right to mistreat her back, even though she had been mean to me 5 times in a row on the phone that day. And I just held my ground, and I just showed her love. You know, again, I'm going to say this. Jesus said they would know us by our love. And if I can only show people love when they love me, I'm not walking in the Spirit, I'm walking in the flesh. If you have to be nice to people because they're nice, and if they're rude to you, you're going to be rude, you're absolutely living in the flesh. You're not in the Spirit, you're in the flesh. Jesus wants us to be in the Spirit, and the fruit of the Spirit is love, peace, patience, joy, kindness, self-control, all of those things. And I walk in the Spirit all the time, and I am a game changer. I change people's attitudes everywhere I go. When I see a bad attitude, it ain't getting on me. I'm going to put my good attitude on them. Got it? Okay, guys, I'm going to hop off. I love you, and tomorrow I'm going to do a teaching, okay? I'll see you here. Bye-bye.